Do you want to experience the thrill of a Packers game at Lambeau Field? If so, be sure to get your game tickets from the longtime trusted source in Wisconsin, Ticket King. Visit their locations in Milwaukee and Green Bay, or just go to their website, theticketking.com. Again, that's theticketking.com.
And now, for fans of the 13-time NFL champion Green Bay Packers, this is Cheesehead TV Live.
Cheetahs don't stretch and neither do we.
I think you're an idiot. And I mean that with the most respect possible that I can give to an idiot.
Packers Hall of Fame quarterback Jay Cutler.
It's not as fun to say as Equinemius.
That is a perfect example of a wrong opinion. Ring the bell.
All right, it is Cheesehead TV Live, and we are at Stadium Club in Chandler, Arizona. Thank you so much for having us back. We're happy to be here. And those of you on YouTube are probably like, hey, Jason looks really different. And that's because his name is Tyler. That's not Jason at all. Surprise. Tyler, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Doing well, Jeremy. Happy to be here. Sorry Jason can't be here. Hoping I can do my best to stand in tonight for him.
I think you'll do just fine. Now, we've already been threatened to be kicked out of the bar, so we're doing really well over here. So if you are on YouTube watching the show and you're in Arizona, we may need you to come down here and help us haul all of our crap out, because if the Packers lose tonight, we're in big trouble here, because the last time we were here, it did not go very well. So let's avoid that. We want to be here. This is where we want to hang out. So anyways, Packers play the Lions tonight in Lambeau Field.
Let's do it. Ready to end this 0-4. We don't want to talk too much about that, but ready to get back on the winning track where they need to be.
Actually, I do want to talk about that for 1 second. I did put that in the show notes. The Lions tonight are trying to, let me find this here. They are trying to beat the Packers 5 times straight for the first time since the 1950s. That cannot happen.
That is atrocious.
That cannot happen. That can't happen tonight. But that is what's at stake. That is what's on the line. That, and obviously being first in the NFC North, potential playoff implications, which the NFL this season seems to be very heavy early on with the drama as far as the playoffs go. And it's very close in the NFC. It's very tight and a lot of really tough teams. So the Packers have their work cut out for them. This tonight is a big test, whether you like it or not. This Lions team is pretty good. The Packers tonight are going to have to prove that they can do it. All right, so in the chat, I just want to say hello to Brandy, Kurt, which is Sunsletter in the chat. Kurt, that's my buddy Kurt. Thanks for coming on. Jay, Brian, thanks for coming on to the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us on game day. All right, Tyler.
Jeremy.
Do you want to talk about this football game?
Let's do it.
All right, let me pull this up, because to produce the show and run the show is a little bit of a task, but I think I can do this. Okay, offensive keys, here we go.
Keys to the game.
Offense. Blitz. Rodgers steps away, in trouble, throws as he's hit, and it is caught. It is touchdown. Adams. How did he catch that?
All right, big matchup, Lambeau Field, NFC North, big-time stuff. Tonight's keys of the game will start off with let Aaron Jones dominate again. After that performance against Dallas, it doesn't make any sense to me to come in against the Lions and not use him against the Lions in a similar fashion as they did against the Cowboys. He's the best player on the offense outside of Aaron Rodgers, and they don't really have any other weapons that they can lean on. What are your thoughts on that? I think Aaron Jones has to be the guy tonight.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to get the ball going early and often with him. As long as we can involve him, whether it's running, whether it's catching out of the backfield, any way we can get him going is going to be a staple to building out the rest of the offense throughout the whole game. Yep,
just to throw this out there, the Lions are giving up just under 5 yards per carry. So let's say in the first 2 downs you're picking up just over 4 yards a carry. That's pretty damn sweet. So if you can do that against the Lions tonight, that's pretty good for the Packers. And Aaron Jones is the type of guy to do it. Now, I'm a little uncomfortable with taking him off the field and bringing on Jamal Williams. How do you feel about that? I hate that change-up when Jones is starting to get it going.
When Jones is going, it's hard to not keep feeding the hot hand, but Jamal Williams is that pounding, bruising back, and Jones does need the rest from time to time. He's not built to be an every down back. Although he showed last week he has a potential for it, it's still smart by LaFleur. Whatever he can get going, I think he'll keep that strain going.
I think so. Whatever the hot hand is tonight is who they're going to go with. I don't think it's going to be Jamal Williams. But game misconduct in the chat says watch Williams run all over the lines tonight. You know what? Not just run. I would not be surprised if he gets involved in the passing game. Jamal Williams is a guy that they can use in the passing game, so if they're going to use him tonight, it's a great night to do it, and that's going to be the next key of the game is to play big. The Packers need to get their big boys on the field. They need to force the Lions defense to be in base as much as possible. Those Lions linebackers, they're pretty suspect when it comes to pass coverage.
Yeah, definitely. They spent a first-round draft pick on their outside linebackers 2 years ago. And I'm sorry I couldn't think of the name right off the top of my head there. But he's really struggled to keep anything in front of him.
I got you. I'll pull it up. I'll try anyways. So not only that, but the inside linebackers as well. They also are struggling in pass coverage this year. Pass coverage. So the Packers are going to need to use the running backs and the tight ends. But not only that, you brought up a good point. I did not go through the inactives list, mostly because I can't read half the damn Lions on this list. What are some of these names? Ben Bijishwizel. What the hell is that? I can't read that. But the important one is Quandre Diggs is out tonight.
No Quandre Diggs means you got a little bit more room in that free safety spot. You can get anything over that secondary,
That's right.
anything over that linebacker, and you got a little bit of wiggle room. The other important one that I'm really excited is out is Mike Daniels.
Yeah.
I just didn't want him to come in and have that revenge game.
Right,
against Green Bay.
yeah.
He was playing for something, and I'm happy not only because I don't have to see a guy I love for the last couple of years play on the other side of the ball, but I'm also happy because that just loosens up that defensive line and doesn't give them any rotation and any depth.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Here in the chat, Michael Pond says, Danny Vitale, secret weapon tonight. I would be very pleased with that personally.
That would definitely be new. I think Danny Vitale has been fantastic in his role, but I think any expectations as far as yardage and really getting after it on offense and changing the game on offense.
Probably not. You don't think he's going to run through Vitale?
No, I don't think he's going to be a 15 handoff kind of guy tonight.
Well, I don't think it's that as much as they are going to throw to him. I'm going to predict that tonight. Danny Vitale has not only 1 but 2 catches tonight for the offense. I do think they use the running backs, including Danny Vitale, but I think Jimmy Graham tonight is going to have a big game because of those weaknesses of the Lions defense that they do struggle in pass coverage, and with no Quandre Diggs tonight, I think Jimmy Graham's probably going to have a night.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham, go have yourself a night. I think he's set up for success. I think he can run that seam. I don't think that the Lions are built to keep those tight ends from getting the top over them. They have fantastic young corners. They have a great young slot corner. And the Green Bay young wide receivers are going to have to find their way against this young secondary.
They absolutely are.
However, up the middle of the field, I think the Packers tight ends, the veterans, Jimmy Graham and Mercedes Lewis both have an opportunity. Although they may not be the spring chickens that they once were.
That's right.
They both have an opportunity to make an impact in tonight's game.
Now, they are going to have to be careful because one of the things that this defense did do was they played pretty damn well against a good offense of the Kansas City Chiefs. And the thing that they were doing is they were playing cover 1, and they were using their linebackers in a similar fashion that the Packers do, where they were showing one front and changing to another just after the snap. But not only do they do that, they'll bring their linebackers, they'll bring 6 to the line, and they'll bring their linebackers like they're all coming. They'll run up 3 steps, 2 steps, 3 steps, and then drop back. And it's very hard to read the defense when that first initial step looks like they're all coming. And so, luckily for us, we have Aaron Rodgers to watch, right? Rodgers can handle that, I think.
He's pretty good at it. He's done it once or twice in his day.
But that is something that they're going to have to watch out for tonight, because those linebackers then will drop back in coverage. They'll drop back in a quarterback spy. They call them rats. That is what that is called, rats. When you got to find the rats on the defense. When they come up and they're showing their front, you're looking for who the rats are, and hopefully they don't get you, because I don't know about you, but that's like one of my least favorite things is when the linebacker comes up, you think he's coming, 2 seconds later he's in your throwing lane, and you had no idea he was going to be there.
And I don't think you could use a better descriptive word to name a player that comes from a Matt Patricia system or Detroit as a whole.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. So we do have a question in the chat about Mike Daniels. You said you were happy that he's not playing tonight. I agree with you. I am happy he will not be playing. I think Mike Daniels is a guy who feeds off of emotion. He's a very, very emotional guy. I'm glad he's not going to be there. By the way, since you're passing around the kickoff cheese, did you guys get us some kickoff cheese sitting at this table here? No? Okay, we can't miss out on that. We got to get our kickoff cheese before the game starts. So if you can hear me and you bring me a piece of cheese right now, I would not complain about it. Okay, so back to that, cover one. So it's really important. They need to stymie the pass rush because the Lions tonight are going to come from all directions, and they're going to have to figure out where it's coming from. They have had success creating pass rush with 3 and 4 guys, and that's the thing that's helped their defense to succeed is that they don't have to bring everybody, and they don't have to bring 5. They don't have to bring 6. They're bringing 3 and 4 and still succeeding in the pass rush. Now, this offensive line is pretty good, right? I mean, I'm not uncomfortable with the guys they got.
I mean, Brian Bulaga hasn't let anybody get to Aaron Rodgers yet this season.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's a great thing. And I think another thing to look at with this Detroit defense is they don't really have that true pass rusher. The only one they have is Devon Kennard, who can lay the wood. And, I mean, he gets after it. And Trey Flowers is coming off that injury, coming over from New England. And he's getting better as each game goes along.
And he's not really been what they hoped that he would be, but he is having an impact for that defense. They're having a much better year. The Lions' defense is actually pretty good. So the Packers are gonna have their challenge tonight because I've been talking about this week after week. The Packers are riding this consistency roller coaster. I'd really like them to get off that damn ride and just find. Like they scored 34 points, right? In the last game, they scored 34 points and they did it all at once, and then they stopped. I would rather you score those 34 points over 4 quarters, okay? Like stretch it out because that changes the complexity of the whole game. So I'm hoping tonight is the night they get off the roller coaster.
Well, I can imagine Mike Pettine's just like looking at Matt LaFleur and just saying, "Hey, can you not make me change my schemes throughout the game 3 or 4 times?"
Right.
It's a lot easier to defend when we're up 34-0.
Right.
But if you want to keep that going, I can keep the same.
Right. I can keep doing what I've been doing, but as soon as they start, you guys stop playing the way that you can. The defense has to change. Personnel has to change. Guys are tired by the end of the game. The defense is getting their ass kicked because they're spending all game on the field. The defense needs more breaks than that. This defense is really good. And to be as good as they are, to have to play as big a chunks as they've had to play all at once, it's impressive that they've been able to maintain. But the offense needs to improve to help the defense, and that needs to start soon. I've been asking for it for weeks. Now is as good a time as any. I should stop asking for it. I should start saying it's going to continue to be the same. Maybe reverse psychology or something.
Just say it's coming.
Well, I've been saying it's coming, and it's not here. So, okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the defense. We got plenty to talk about on that side of the ball.
Keys to the game. Defense.
They bring everybody. Allen trying to get out of trouble. Allen chucks it downfield. Intercepted. Allen has it picked off. Jair Alexander is brought down, and the Bills come up empty.
All right, I want to throw 2 things out there real quick. If you want to join us on Facebook, you can join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/CHTV Live. You can get in there and join the conversation throughout the week. I just want to throw that out there because there's plenty of lovely Packer fans here at Stadium Club, and if you guys want to connect with us, that's a good place to do it. Okay, so the defense. I'm really happy this season about this defense. It feels good.
I was optimistic is the best word to describe at the beginning of the season about the way that this defense would go. I knew that they spent the money and they filled positions that they've missed for a long time.
Right.
But I didn't know how it was all going to mesh together. I was optimistic 2 years ago when we got Mike Pettine.
Yep.
I think he's a fantastic defensive coordinator. You look at everything he did for years with the Jets, and when they were able to slow down Tom Brady at a much younger age.
Yeah.
And I was excited to see where it goes. I did not expect
Good
to come out and fill in the rest of everything with the draft.
As quick as it happened. It doesn't feel real. Like I think there is a little bit of a trepidation. Like I think Packer fans are waiting for the bottom to fall out on the defense. It's been so many years. We watched such terrible defense for so many years. I think we're just still waiting for it to end and the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying?
And unfortunately, they do leave you with that lagging feeling in certain aspects of the game because we're so ready for that negativity to come forward.
Right.
That we're grasping for anything to be wrong with it. But I think overall as a whole, you just can't help but watch with excitement especially with the way the Smith brothers play together.
Yep.
Love it.
So this isn't one of the keys of the game, but I am going to throw this out there. We were talking about their run game because that is the place where it feels like the Packers are. They're not quite where the rest of what the defense does is. Like the run defense is questionable at best. And we were looking at the Pro Football Focus ratings for their offensive line, and it looks like the place that their bread and butter is where they're going to be able to run the ball best is between the center and the right guard. Their right tackle is absolutely atrocious as a lineman overall. So let me look at this real quick. So yeah, right tackle Rick Wagner, terrible. His ratings absolutely atrocious. Pass rush, pass blocking, run blocking doesn't matter. Graham Glasgow, I think he was the highest for run blocking at an 87. He was over 87. And then Frank Ragnow. Frank Ragnow's a fantastic center. He's really quite good. And the thing that he excels at is run blocking. He rated a 79.5 as a run blocker. So that's where, if they're running up the gut, it's going to go between the right guard and the center. That's where they're going to do a lot of it tonight. So that being said, those guys being as good as they are against the run, what do you do to fix it?
You got a big body in Montravius Adams.
There you go.
And I think you just sit him all game right in that A gap, and you just say, hey, get heavy, man.
Right.
Get low and get heavy.
Just be beefy.
Because these guys are studs right there on that right side of the line.
That's
the
right.
Interior. You're not going to get much beyond those two. So just get as heavy as you can and try and anchor down.
Just get in that gap and eat it. Like don't do anything special. Just own that spot. That is your spot. Eat that. That is yours. Don't let anybody in it. That's what they got to do tonight. Stick a big fat body in the A gap and say, nope, you're just not coming this way tonight. And I think that's going to be enough to make their run game struggle. And the Lions are going to be depending on that run game tonight. That's going to be huge for them. So if the Packers can shut that down, that would be fantastic. Okay, keys to the game. The first one for me, shadow Kenny Galladay with Kevin King, not Jair Alexander, which I think a lot of people assume Jair Alexander should be on their best receiver. However, the size difference is so big that's not the direction I would want to go. Kenny Galladay is 6'4", 214 pounds. Kevin King is 6'3", 200 pounds. So still a 14-pound difference. That's still a lot. 14 pounds is still a lot, but the height is right there, right?
King's got the reach, too. I think that's the biggest impact that he can make is he can get the ball, he can get his hand in there and make a difference when that ball is arriving.
Yeah.
Jair Alexander has fantastic speed, and nobody's going to say anything negative about the way that Jair Alexander has played this season.
No way.
However, we've been fortunate after 2 years of disappointment with Kevin King for him to come and be that player that we expected him to be coming out of Washington. I remember watching him beat ASU over and over and over again and not allowing Jalen Strong, who was a great college receiver, to get any yardage on that team. And that's what I expected when he came to Green Bay. Fortunately, that's how he's playing this year.
Yeah, I think I think Jair's great, and we all know that. But Kevin King, the last few weeks, has played more like he played in college. Dominant cornerback play. He did have a down week, but overall this season, Kevin King has been consistently good. The Kevin King that we hoped that we would have. The only issue with him is, can he stay healthy? Will he stay healthy? It's the only thing anybody ever talks about with Kevin King. But the guy's playing some really good football. He's very good up against big receivers, and that's what Kenny Galladay is. Here's the other thing. Jair Alexander is 5'10", so the height difference, huge. He's 196 pounds. Huge weight difference. That's not the way that I would go, because if Stafford's going to throw the ball up in the air and Jair's the one covering Galladay, I think he could make a play on it, but I think you have to give the benefit there to Kenny Galladay because of his size. Yeah,
he's going to be able to muscle him around a little bit, and Jair's got the fight in him.
Yeah,
but Kenny Galladay is a big, strong receiver. Don't get it wrong. Kenny Galladay is a number one receiver in the NFL. Yep,
absolutely. Okay, the next key to the game: limit the early career success of T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson's off to a hot start. For a rookie tight end. Tight end is really a tough position for rookies to come in and play well at early. It's not a thing that happens, but T.J. Hawkinson has done that. He's been impactful for them already, and the Packers need to shut that down tonight. They can't let T.J. Hawkinson become an impactful guy in that offense. There's enough to deal with there. Hawkinson can't be a problem tonight.
Yeah, you look at T.J. Hawkinson and what he's done so far this season, and I think most Packers fans are looking at him because they wanted him in this draft.
Yeah.
I myself wanted
absolutely.
TJ Hawkinson.
Yep.
He is a stud athlete. People are thinking that he could be the next Zach Ertz.
Yep.
However, Detroit's drafted 3 tight ends in the first round the last couple of years. When I say the last couple of years, I'm thinking the last 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
Brandon Pettigrew fizzled out.
Terrible.
Eric Ebron
Well,
wasn't what he was expected to be
Right.
while in Detroit. They have a big opportunity to finally hit it and not
Right.
strike out with TJ Hawkinson. And I think this is just going to be an opportunity for Green Bay to limit that success because he had a great first week against the Cardinals, and I think living here in Arizona, nobody expects the Cardinals to not let anybody have a great week against them.
Yeah, right. No, that's
Sorry,
fair.
Cardinals
Yeah.
fans that are here in
I
attendance.
mean, they are pretty terrible.
And then he had a couple down weeks, but his last game before he went out with that concussion against Kansas City, he was trending up to have a great game then. So
Yeah.
which TJ Hawkinson are we
Well,
going to see tonight?
He's fully healthy tonight.
And
So,
we'll get into it. We're not exactly fully healthy on where we would see him being covered. Darnell Savage Jr. is the ultimate matchup
Right.
for a young TJ Hawkinson. Go a rookie defensive player of the year candidate against a rookie offensive player of the year candidate and see who comes out on top. Darnell Savage, unfortunately, out tonight.
yeah. So no Darnell Savage means you're going to see Josh Jackson back there. You're going to see Will Redmond play a little bit back there. You're going to see Tremont Williams play his snaps at safety. At least they have guys that they can put in because not that long ago, this Packers defense, if they had a guy go down at safety, like they already sucked at safety with the guys they were starting, so it wasn't going to be very good. At least they have a group of guys who are serviceable and can come in and play the position. But there is good news.
There is good news.
Oren Burks. Oren Burks is going to play tonight for the first time this season, and Oren Burks is supposed to be that coverage guy.
Oren Burks has the speed. He's that hybrid guy that they looked at all of training camp, and they said, we want you to be that guy we haven't had for years. And Mike Pettine's defense is kind of built on having one of those hybrid guys. They've talked a lot about going and finding another guy, but you have a young stud athlete in Oren Burks who can lay the wood, who comes down
absolutely.
and can hit, and he's got the size, he's got the speed, and he's got the strength. And I think he is the ideal guy to get into a young player's head, even though he's young himself,
Right.
and kind of limit the success of TJ Hawkinson.
Okay, so Hedgehog corrected me. Apparently he did play last week, so my bad. Jesus of the Apes says Oren Burks is not going to help anyone. He's not a believer.
Not an Oren Burks believer. That's okay. I hope he shows you wrong tonight.
He very well could, and it's about time we get to see him play some meaningful snaps. That guy he's got plenty of injury concern there for the Packers. I don't know. I don't think Oren Burks is going to come in and be a game changer, but they do have a guy who could possibly help cover up TJ Hawkinson, and that tonight is going to be key. That's going to be crucial for this defense. All right, last key of the game: turn up the heat. The Lions' offensive tackles have allowed 28 pressures in 5 games.
Yeah, they're pretty garbage.
They're pretty bad.
They're not the best in the league
Yeah.
by any means. And fortunately, the Packers are blessed with two of the best pass rushers this point in the season.
So far,
I love the Smith brothers.
I do.
I mean, I get excited, and the excitement and the level of joy that they're having playing together.
Right. You feel it.
You just
The
you can
culture,
see it.
the culture has changed in Green Bay.
Yeah.
There's a real swagger for this defense. Pretty much what I'm saying is they're a group of jerks, and it's awesome because how many times as Packer fans have we watched other teams have that group that beats up on you and pisses you off with their trash talk? A lot, right? I mean, like, the Vikings defense, and as good as they were a few years ago, they were also a defense that would talk some trash, right? But
I
they would
hated
make
it.
trouble with you. They would
Yeah.
make trouble for you the whole damn game.
Yeah.
Now the Packers have a group like that. It's kind of like the Jets back in the day when Mike Pettin was in New York. That Jets defense, they'd talk trash the whole game, and they'd back it up the whole game. And that's what this defense has going. And it changed the culture of the team.
Well, it makes such a difference when not only do you have that young secondary who's playing with that high level of swagger, but
Yeah.
you have 2 pass rushers in their prime getting after it right now. And they both have been secondary players on former teams.
Yeah.
Now they can feed off of each other and make each other better together.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are in the YouTube chat, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have some keys to the game you want us to read real quick, go ahead and throw those out there. So I'm real quick. I just want to fill everybody in on our social media stuff. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can find us. I'm at Jeremy RVDL. He is Tyler Tan7. And you can follow the show at CHTV Live. So if you're on Twitter, that would be the way to do that. And if you want to support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/Cheesehead TV Live. If you want to support us and everything we do and help us grow the show, that would be the place to do it. It's a good way to connect. There's lots of benefits there to supporting the show. Go ahead and check those out. Patreon.com/Cheesehead TV Live. All right, so we're getting close to kickoff. It's time. I wrote my prediction down in the show notes, but I didn't see yours. So
I got it in there.
You got
it in there late.
Okay, real quick. Let me check the chat and see if we have anybody's keys here. Somebody said we rock. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Boo, where's Nags? Well, Nagler's never on Cheesehead TV Live. If you read, you'd notice that that's what this show is called, and Aaron Nagler's never on it. Surprise, no Nagler. Okay, so make them run the ball. Don't let Stafford be a gunslinger. Actually, I'd like to go the other way.
When you're looking at their offensive line and the way it's built, they're one-dimensional for where they're going to run the ball.
Right.
I mean, you look at it, they haven't had any success out of their first-year running back who they drafted early on, I think in round 3. But you look outside of that, Kerryon Johnson is an explosive back.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the support anywhere else in the line to get those holes.
Yeah. But I'll say this, though. Matt Stafford's going to give you like 3 or 4 opportunities. He's going to throw your defense the football, right?
Especially with this young secondary. They're gonna look, they're opportunistic.
Don't let them run the ball. That's my thing. Shut down the run. Take it out completely and make them get into a position where they have to pass all night long, because Matthew Stafford will throw you 3 or 4 opportunities. He will give your defense a chance to pick it off. So I say you got to get up early. That's the way this defense is right now. That's the way this team is built right now. You need to get up early and force the other team to continue to pass all game long, because that is the strength of this defense. They're going to get after the quarterback. They're going to force turnovers, but you need to be in a passing. You need to keep the other offense in a passing situation. They didn't do that against the Eagles.
Nope.
And that game did not turn out very well, no. Right?
And the thing is that this offense has enjoyed getting after it early. They continue drives when they need to. They may not always be efficient every quarter, but when Aaron Rodgers is asked, hey, go sustain a drive late in a game, he has done it almost every time this season. And going back to that Eagles game, Devontae Adams doesn't go down, and it's a different outcome.
All right, James Joseph says, eat more chicken. I guess that's how you win this football game. Eat more chicken. Okay, prediction time. Give me your prediction. What do you got?
All right, so after looking at it, I mean, we know Devontae Adams is out tonight.
Yep.
We knew he was out last week. It was a little bit more skeptical. I think the receivers who had the opportunity to break out last week didn't do so, so I think some of those young guys, especially MVS, is going to show up tonight. I've got Green Bay taking it 31-24.
Okay, all right, so a Packers win from you. I do want to say Leroy Butler today was on Milwaukee radio, and he said if Marquez Valdez-Scantling doesn't have a game tonight, if he doesn't go off, that the Packers would be bringing in another receiver this week. That's Leroy Butler say he believes that the Packers are on the verge of bringing in another receiver. They want to see MVS do what they expect him to do. And I do too. Everybody's waiting for it, and this is a great chance for him to do it. So my prediction tonight, I think annoyingly it's still going to be that roller coaster. I think they're going to score 24 points. They're going to score 21 of them very quickly, and then things are going to stop. And then the Lions are going to play like crap for a chunk of the game, but they're going to come back and score 17 points. It's going to start feeling uncomfortable. Packers are going to kick a field goal. It's going to feel very similar to the way that Cowboys game played out, where it feels good early, you feel great, your team's up 21-0, you feel pretty good, and then all of a sudden it turns off and you don't know what's going on.
You hit it right there, head on the nail.
Yep, I got
Aaron Rodgers has a QBR of 123 in the first quarter this year.
Yep.
And
it's ridiculous.
If he could play like that for the whole game.
For 4 quarters?
There's no chance for anybody in
Dude,
this
they'd be
league.
putting up 50 points. Like, if they could just play
Every
like that
week.
for 4 quarters, they'd wreck everybody. It wouldn't even be close.
I would take 3 quarters.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for us. Thank you so much for having us. It's awesome to be here at Stadium Club. This crowd is insane. You guys are nuts. The vibe in here during the game is so crazy. It gets so loud. I love being here. Thank you, YouTube, for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the chat. Check out CheeseheadTV.com. There's plenty of stuff there. And I don't know if Aaron Nagler's doing his the watch party with Corey Banke, but if he is, stick around on the YouTube channel. You'll be able to watch the game with those two guys. Tyler, thanks for joining me.
Jeremy, thanks
awesome.
for having me.
Hey, yeah, man. Anytime Jason is driving and stuck in traffic, you can come in and take over.
Looking forward to it. It's a good way to have a couple beers and watch the Packers where I do every week. So.
That's right. All right, so that's it. That's the end of the show. Packers gonna win tonight. That's what we got.
That's it.
That's what we
go,
got.
Pack, go.
Thank you for listening to Cheesehead TV Live. Check out cheeseheadtv.com for more great Packers content.
You okay?